My biggest lesson is like be the best version of yourself and then do what you think is the best for you.
Hello, everyone. Elle is here today on our Empowered Global Women in Business podcast. And with us, I have my special guest all the way from Switzerland today, Anna. Good to see you. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, thank you for taking the time to be here. I'm excited. Let's jump on. Before we jump on to our conversation, I'd love to introduce Anna first. So, Anna is a passionate and very dynamic Swiss Brazilian working mom, fluent in 6 languages, and loves to spend time in nature. After completing her studies in pharmacy at the University of Geneva, she relocated to Zurich and started her career in the pharmaceutical industry. With over a decade of experience in both big pharma and startup companies, Anna has worked across various departments, such as medical affairs, supply chain, distribution, and business development. Her professional drive is to work and deliver the best healthcare solutions to patients while striving to achieve gender equality in business and in society. She's a fervent advocate for gender equality as female community leader. In May 2020, she established Birdhouse Writing Camp, publishing a digital community that fosters a supportive space for writers. Anna and her team have helped over 20 people in their books project, and 5 writers have been able to write and publish their books. Awesome. Welcome again,
Thank
Anna.
you.
Great to have you. Great to see you. Why do you do what you do? Why did you choose this field?
This field. So I choose actually two fields. So first is the pharmaceutical one. So I have always been passionate by science, and quite early when I was a teenager, I knew that science was my way. So this is why I decided to go to pharmacy, and I remained there. So I love the challenge from the healthcare point of view, and also quickly understood that being a pharmacist was not for me. So I really went to the industry, which is completely different from being a pharmacy in a pharmacy. So after that, I have moved in different positions because I do like to be challenged and also to grow. So meaning that, after a couple of years that I'm doing something and I'm good at it, I'm like, okay, now let's move on and see what is next. But this was never enough. So I do have also this big creativity in me, and I was a community leader for a really long time, for several years. I was leading also as a president a community here in Zurich, and I always had a side hustle, always. So even prior my kids. And then with the time, the side hustle transformed, always, of course, in gender equality, helping women, professional women. And I acquired a business, Birdhouse, which was a co-working space for women. But then with the COVID, I needed to close it, and I transformed Birdhouse in a digital community for women writers. And I still remain intact in terms of the last 12 years. I'm always being in some way or another a community leader for women, especially for professional women. And this is always in parallel to my corporate career. And lately, in the last 4 years, I have focused on helping women mostly, but also some men to write and publish their books. And this is because I am a writer myself. So I learned how to write and how to publish. I published 2 books, and this helped me to kind of grow. And then I had also plenty of workshops where I develop also the craft, and here I am. So during the day I work as a corporate beast, and then during the evenings and weekends I help people writing and publishing books.
Oh, I love that. I love that. The writing space is so interesting, and I know we're going to talk about it a little bit more detail. But thank you for sharing that. Both of your chosen fields. Now, because you've been building in 2 kind of different, very different fields in your
Mhm.
professional world, I'm sure there are so many lessons that you've learned, right, in this journey. What would be one of the biggest lesson that you would want to share today with us?
I mean, I think my biggest lesson that really follow what you want to do. The kind of professional experience that I'm doing is so unique. Yes, I think my biggest lesson is like be the best version of yourself and then do what you think is the best for you. Because the kind of professional life that I'm living is super unique. I
Mhm.
love science. I love my corporate career. I love really to do what I do because my work as industry pharmacy is full of purpose. I'm helping people with disease, the life-threatening disease, and then I'm shipping drug. And so my role is very technical, but really thanks to what I'm doing with me and my team, we're really saving life. So this is why it's so empowering. But at the same time, it was not enough. And I also realized that I wanted something on a more creative side, and I also wanted to be a business owner. And this is why I venture into Birdhouse, and then slowly I understood that helping people, helping at the beginning, really women on the professional side for their books was really my calling. And I have plenty of friends, of course, in the corporate world that they have only the corporate life and it's fine.
Yeah.
And then some entrepreneur that have left the corporate world and then are just focusing on the business, and it also fine. But for me, was not an option to leave one or the other. And I'm doing both. And I think this is the biggest lesson. And of course, it's sometimes is a lot, and then I take a break. But for me, it's about I wanted to do it. I want to do it now, and I'm keeping doing it.
Really, you can do everything that you want to do, even if you,
Mm.
kind of both worlds, and then build your own personal life around it and your family and
Yes.
everything. So thank you for sharing that. Because you were born in a different country now, even though you came to Switzerland when you were very, very little, yeah,
Mhm.
but still, the cultural heritage, cultural background, I like to ask that question. In your mind, how has your background has limited or favored you?
Yes, so I was born in Brazil. My mom is Brazilian, and my father is Swiss. So I was born in Brazil, and then I moved to Switzerland when I was little, when I was 3 years old, and then I grew up in Switzerland. I did everything in Switzerland, my university, my career. So, but I look completely Brazilian. There is no denying of it, and everyone that look at me thinks that I am a foreign. This is like a life story that I have. And when I'm in Brazil, people spot me after the second word because I have a thick accent in Portuguese, even if I'm fluent, but I have an accent, so everyone understands I'm not Brazilian. And for me, I took it as funny. I mean, very early in age, I understood that, the Swiss people are the Caucasian kind of people, so very white. And I was not fitting the box on that. But still, I am more Swiss than the majority of the Swiss. I speak all the languages. I have lived in all the region. Switzerland is a small country, but has three completely different culture, very similar to Belgium and other small countries where the language shape also the culture, and they are completely different here. I have lived in all of them. I speak fluently all of the languages. I am pharmacist, which is after banking, is the number two career for Swiss people. So I always laugh that when people say, ah, yes, you are Swiss. I'm like, oh gosh, you have no idea how Swiss I am. And at the same time, I am very like international minded. So when I hang out with expat here, everyone thinks that I'm Swiss because my English is fluent, the way I think, the way I behave. This is mostly because I have my corporate career is very international, so it helped me to go out of the Swiss shelf in a way. And I always thought that everything that makes you different is a superpower. And this is I just understand this early because if you don't do that quite early in life, then everything becomes a burden. And I feel like, it's fantastic to have this little joke about I'm very Swiss, but I look totally Brazilian. And when I'm in Brazil, I'm like, yes, I am the Brazilian
Yeah,
Swiss here.
I
So
love
it's funny.
that.
I like it. I like it. And I thought that in a way it serves me good,
Yeah.
but also it serves me good because I am like speaking fluently so many languages that from a career point of view, it was always an advantage, always.
Yeah, that's great. I love the whole diversity, this global outlook. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. I can totally relate. Living in one country, moving to another country. So yeah, so thank you for sharing that. What is the Sikh languages, by the way, do you speak?
Yeah, so I come from the Swiss Italian part. So my mother language with my family is Italian, also at home with my husband and my kids. So then I speak French, German, Portuguese, Spanish, English.
Yeah, I need to go back to French learning, and I'd like to have Spanish on my list too. So whenever
Yeah,
I
always
find
like it's
time.
the thing with the language that you need to use them regularly. If not,
Yes.
then you lose them. That and I think this is also one of the thing I really have this advantage compared to everyone else because in a week base I speak five of my six language. So
Mhm.
this is why they keep all very good. And then exactly the one that I'm the weakest, which is Spanish, is because I don't have that much opportunity to speak.
Yeah,
So the moment that I am exposed, I need to, wait an half an hour, understand, and having the hear and so on. And then it goes slowly into a more Spanish flow and not completely Portuguese.
that's so beautiful. But you're so right about like the language you have to practice. Um,
Yes.
so I learned some French, but I lost it because I just didn't have practice in it.
Mhm.
So that's so great that you get to really move in between the three you said,
Yes.
in the area where you live. So I love that. Awesome. Okay. So I want to move into talking about your passion project a little bit, your
Yes.
writing camp. Um,
Yes.
and I think it's the time is so good, right? Because a lot of people becoming writers today, a lot of people want to share their story, whether they are doing the multi-author books, right? Or if they're doing solo book.
Mhm.
What is the format of your writing camp? How do you do it? And how can our listeners learn about it or maybe reach out to you? And I know we will post some links how to connect with you as well.
Sure, sure. So I have developed a program, Birdhouse, within Birdhouse, and also a workbook, the Birdhouse workbook, that help people, especially the one that never wrote a book before, so they never have done it is the first time, really to go through a journey. Because as you said, it's very popular today to have a book, and I am the first one to say, look, there is not enough book around, not because we need a mass, but because every person has something to share, a story, a knowledge, and like, even experience. And then you can touch other people with a book in a different way. And you can transmit also some of the wisdom. And, some people will connect with some books and some people will not. And this is why we need more because we need to see it. Of course, I'm a avid reader, so I have books that I reread frequently and others that I'm like, okay, it was the first time I really don't like it. And for me, it's about when I work with the people that want to write a book for the first time. For me, it's about, okay, but what it's motivating you, and you need to start with some basis, and then as inner work about your motivation and your why, and then understand what kind of message you want to transmit and who is your audience. And I see way too many people that just open a document and then start typing without having a reflect to any of the basics. And this is why when people work with me and with my method, there is like one or two long sessions. They are more like a live session, and people are like, oh wow. Sometimes there are even tears coming out because it's when it's nonfiction, you go very close to the motivation and the feelings, and there is always very profound motivation why people want to write and publish a book. And when you go through this, then you understand that indeed everyone has a story to share, but it needs to be done in a meaningful way, not like just trying to type something or maybe having some artificial intelligence thing that help you. So, and this is why I really like what I do as a side hustle because it allows me to connect with people on a completely different level. And when you speak in nonfiction book, then I am exposed with so many different talent, and then everyone has their own way of seeing also the life and the world. And I like it a lot. And this is why then with the time at the beginning was a couple of people, then, then I had a group and then I had this. So month by month, and then the years fell down and I realized that I was accumulating so much knowledge. And so last year I decided to launch also really an online business so I can help also people beyond my one-to-one so they can actually buy also an online course.
Mm.
And I'm very happy because this enables me, to help more people in a way. But also when they maybe cannot do this by themselves, they reach out to me, and then I can help them, especially the beginning, to move on with the project.
That's great. And how can they find it?
Yes, so it's birdhouse.ch because we are in Switzerland, so it's CH. So birdhouse, house not in the English version, but the German version.
Mhm.
And it's Birdhouse Writing and Publishing. And then the website guides you. There is a free masterclass for really the newbies that really have never um, they really don't know anything about the book process. This is a free masterclass of an half an hour where I condense the full process there. And then there is an online course. And then eventually I also organize some workshops sometimes, accountability group. So all of it's mostly for people like myself. So they have a corporate job or a business and they need to carve time to
Yeah.
find to actually write their books, and those are the kind of people that can work with me because we are going to have the same challenges. And so I can really help. Like, okay, I also have kids, I have a full-time job, and I run a business. So if the business would be like the book for you, I can do this. So you can definitely write your book. So let me help you to strategize this. And this is the kind of person that I work with.
Beautiful. And this is only the writing part of it, not the publishing part of the book.
Exactly. So the writing part is mostly on this. The publishing, as of now, what I do is also I coach people to find the best publishing solutions. I
Mhm.
am a big believer that in this moment we have three different publishing options, and not every option is good for everyone. There is the publishing houses, which is great, but it takes long. You have little royalties, you have no control, but it's good for like the credibility. And then you have the full self-publishing method that you can control the cost, but from a quality perspective, unless you are really good in project management, from a quality perspective often goes a little bit down on quality. And then you have the agencies. They are doing great job. They are publishing bestseller authors all the week, so really like so good. But the agencies that are a mix between a self-publishing method and someone who is professional can help you with all the process, those agencies are expensive. So this is why it's like it depends really from every single person, what is their proper goal, the proper, resources. And I help every single of my writers to find the best solution for them. And then we strategize this. And this is why I have writers that have published with publishing houses and writers that have done full length with self-publishing and other that have used agencies because every time is very different.
Mhm.
And then, of course, I help them for like the branding and the promotion of the book. So because a book project is a big project, so writing is 30%, then there is the editing and there is the publishing and it is the promotion. So every step needs to be strategized almost together. And this is why I like to work with my writers long months because we can do everything.
Beautiful. So we're going to publish links how to get in touch with Anna's company, Birdhouse Writing Camp, and yeah, connect with her. So much, it is such a big project, and so it might feel overwhelming for people, right, when they're just starting to write,
Yes,
especially if it's a solo book,
exactly.
because it's a bigger, right, the book and the project and all of that. So I want to move into, this is a podcast for multinational women in business, professional world, and I always get different perspectives, and that's why I love it. I love to ask, what does it mean for you to be a woman of the world?
Yes, I mean, I definitely have in me this world sensation. I am international, but at the same time, I'm very Swiss. So I need to say that it's an interesting combination, and I feel like it's a very good one to have when you want to build a business.
Mhm.
for a career as well. So my career moved in a global role because I was that open. So you can be in pharmaceutical company and still be very Swiss based, only with Swiss physicians, without being that international. But because I was so open-minded and happy and also ready to, of course, to connect with people also in a different level, different languages, my career took that fantastic way on a more global role. I speak every day with people in all corners of the world for my work and I love it. And from a business perspective, this helped me to also think differently because developing Birdhouse and developing also the book ideas and I'm connecting with people in Canada, with people in the US, in people in Asia. And it's not only my little business only in Switzerland. It's already from the start, I had this, outreach that was very international, which already brings me the point about, whatever the client come, it's fine. It's not like only my neighbors that will
Yeah.
actually use the service. And I feel like having this approach helps actually the business because from the start you are open to the full world and not only on your little, district around you.
And as our world becomes kind of smaller, we're becoming so much more global. It's easier to connect, right, with each other.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Now with finishing our conversation today, I want to finish with rapid fire questions, and I have 5 questions for you. Okay, so my first question is, your favorite book name is?
Ines de mi alma di Isabel Allende.
Oh, yes, I've read her. Yeah, read her book. She's great. Okay, beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Favorite international destination to visit?
Italy.
Italy twice today. I was speaking with somebody else, Italy. I have to go to Italy. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay. And final question, things that you have discovered about yourself recently.
That if I have a good plan, things happen.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anna, for taking the time. I know it's a little bit later where you are.
No
Um,
problem.
yeah, but thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a lovely conversation and looking forward to also listen to the next podcast episodes.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Anna. Bye.